moon and rising sign. Sorry, there's a little bleep there. Hope you guys are well. Welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. This is your September 2016 month ahead tarot forecast. If you'd like a private reading with me, Aries, please go to www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. So, for the month, it's an interesting one. And as you know, when I read tarot on the YouTube channel, I don't like to stick to the one story. I like to look at, you know, a variation of stories that I can see within the reading. Your general energy for the month is showing as the Empress and the Page of Cups. And we know that this combination can sometimes mean pregnancy. It can mean that somebody's focusing on becoming a mother. It can mean that somebody's focusing on their child. They've got very maternal, nurturing, loving instincts towards their child. The Page of Cups is a lovely card as a child because it shows a child with great affection. So it might be that some of you guys are experiencing great affection from a child within the month of September, but we're not going to keep it that mundane. I feel that the energy really around you, for some of you guys, especially if you're female and you're watching this, and males, you might be going through this with a female partner, is, and even if you're, you know, if you're gay or lesbian, it doesn't really matter, because the Empress really is just a card about, on the one hand, it's about creativity, building great wealth, building a great empire. On the other hand, it's a card about a very loving, maternal individual, somebody who's got a lot of love to give, somebody who mothers an individual to a great extent, somebody who feels a great maternal responsibility for another. And with the Page, because the Page is to do with a child, when you get Page in readings, they're babies up to the age of, say, I think it's 18, 19, 20, something like that. And then you get the Knights that go from 20 through to 23. I mean, Pages can be male or female. Knights would usually represent, I believe, a male energy, King's male energy, and Queen's female energy. Okay, so this is male or female child here with the Page of Cups. But I feel that because it's got a fish coming out of a cup, I'm a Jamaican, okay, so I came from a Jamaican background, and my mum, she died a few years ago, but my mum was very psychic. So, but she didn't deal with tarot or anything. She was a Christian. She never believed that tarot was very good. But she would often have a lot of prophetic dreams. And whenever she would dream of fishes, it would mean pregnancy. So if she dreamt of fishes, then you could bet. I come from a family of 11 children, and 6 of those were girls. So you could bet that one of the girls was pregnant. If my mum dreamt of fishes, I've had I've lost two babies. So when my babies went, basically my mum, I think she dreamt of fishes with their heads chopped off, which meant losing your children sort of thing. So we know that fishes can relate to conception and birth, okay, with this Page of Cups. I feel that it's an interesting one because the fish is coming out of the cup, and we know that the cups represent water, so it's like a fish out of water. I feel that some of you guys are looking at conception here, but I also feel that you might be looking at things like adoption. I don't know why that's coming to me, but I feel that some of you guys might be looking at things like adoption as well, or maybe fostering, something like that. Not so much fostering, but maybe more adoption, that type of thing, in which you have to pay some, I think you have to pay money, do you? I don't know much about adoption, but there's something to do with not buying a child, but maybe you have to pay something towards the service and administration fees and all of that type of thing. Or it could be things like IVF or artificial insemination, that type of thing. I don't know what you call it. I don't know anything about that type of thing. But the fish looks really healthy in that Page of Cups. And the child is offering something to the Empress. Okay, so the child is offering something that is alive, that is... it's almost like a surprise is being offered. I have to look at the Page of Cups, and it represents a surprise to me as well. Because the fish jumping out of that cup, this child is not expecting the fish to jump out of the cup. So this is why I feel that there is a surprise that could be coming to some of you guys if you are looking at becoming, you know, parents within the month of September 2016, or if your focus is on that. However, we do have your advice being the Three of Pentacles, so there could be lots of meetings. When you get the Three of Pentacles, often it's to do with things like administration, so it's the signing of forms, okay? You're on the start of a journey with this card, okay? So the foundations have been laid, but there's lots of other things that need to be done in between before you can actually have the finished article, if that makes any sense. So I feel that the advice is saying that there will be lots more research that's involved, because if you look at these two people, they're researching and they're looking at this person here. The person that they're looking at, Aries, is somebody who is far more skilled in this area that they are basically researching. So they're going for information, they're going for more enlightenment from this skilled person. They're asking this person questions, okay? So I feel that there will be, in the month of September, a time to ask far more questions about a particular situation, especially if it's to do with children, or wanting children, or looking at how you can have, or, you know, perhaps adopt a child, that type of thing. I feel that there's going to be a lot of kind of, what's the word, what do we call it? There'll be a lot of kind of paperwork involved coming to you guys in the month of September as well. And I feel that this will also be a time for beginning new projects in terms of maybe something to do with children. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to explain this in a couple of ways. But there's a lot more to do, I feel, in terms of a new project or something that you're working on with the month of September, Aries. The first card that's showing up as your 8 cards is the Queen of Pentacles. We know that when we get a Queen of Pentacles, this is somebody, she's like the Empress, again, very fertile energy female, which is often why the Queen of Pentacles, you get Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords is not a pregnancy card because she's usually seen as a barren individual. So Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, these are very fertile cards and can also indicate some form of pregnancy issue going on. But with the Queen of, because she's also seen as a health card. The good thing is that usually when you get a Queen of Pentacles, it should show somebody in good health. But I feel that this person is more looking at what you have. And I feel that this represents, it could represent somebody external, because you're Aries, you're usually Queen of Wands, okay, within the tarot. So this could be an external person that you're talking to, like a bank manager, somebody who works within finance, who's looking over your finances, or this could be an energy of yours, where you're looking at something to do with what you have in your bank, your home, your assets. You're making financial plans. You're probably planning for something, especially if it's around children or conception, or it's not going to be a normal conception, that type of thing. You're probably looking at this, your finances with that one pentacle, especially if the finances in terms of conception and maybe something to do with adoption, or you're looking at something like IVF treatment. It could be that you're carrying a lot of burden. There's a lot of responsibilities that you have along with that Queen of Pentacles energy. Now, I feel that there might be solutions that happen to come to you, because we do have a Queen of Swords showing up next. And when you get the Queen of Swords, this is somebody who is very rational, somebody who's very blunt, somebody who's very to the point. So I feel that this person might be offering you, it's not that she offers you mixed messages, but she offers you hope as well as non-hope. So she gives you good news along with bad news. The bad news is probably the swords, because the sword is the truth of the matter, okay? And the hand is the invitation. The hand is where it's when you look at a Queen of Swords, I always see her holding her hand out like this, which suggests, you know, something is possible here, or I'm open to something here. But the sword is where there is the limit. So it's almost like, well, there is an opening here, but therefore, but also at the same time, there might be a little bit of a limit here with the sword, because the sword is the truth of the matter. So if we're looking at something in a realistic light, we're looking at that sword. If we're looking at the potential of something with the Queen of Swords, we're looking at the hand, as far as I'm concerned. And she seems to have this facing the sun. And the Sun card we can see as being something quite positive. So I feel that whatever is going on here with this Queen of Pentacles energy and that Ten of Wands, okay, there seems to be some form of struggle, and it's to do with the responsibilities that for some of you Aries people you already have in regards to your finances, and the amount of, you know, just responsibilities and things that you've got to do within the month of September and going forward. But I feel that Queen of Swords might be, it can be your own energy as well, but more on a logical basis. But this can also be an external person who gives you some fair advice, because she is based on the card of Libra, so the major card of, Justice. So Justice is about weighing up the pros and cons and giving you fair, unbiased, non-judgmental advice, which I feel is what she does, which is why she gives you the truth of the matter, the stark truth with the sword, but at the same time with the hand showing, which I feel is more indicative of something being open. She's saying, well, there is a chance here, but, and that's where the sword comes in. But it still gives you some form of hope here with the Sun card, I feel. The idea that you're looking to pursue, which could be to do with something around conception, I feel. Because we've got the Two of Wands showing here. When you get a Two of Wands, for me, this guy has an idea bolted to the back, which is the one wand here. He keeps something in the in reserve as a backup plan, Aries. But with the one word and the globe in his hand, he's looking to move forward with one idea. However, you do seem to have an obstacle because of the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So when I get the Seven of Pentacles upright, this often represents to me that somebody's bank balance is full, or somebody has money in the bank because they've also got a little bit left over here with the one pentacle, and they're saying, should we invest it in what we've already got? When it's in the reverse, for me, this feels like everything is depleted. And this is why we've got the Ten of Wands directly up above it, I feel. I feel that there is a major, major burden that you're carrying with your finances with that, you know, Queen of Pentacles. It's not that you're not being sensible with finances, but you're looking at the stark reality with that Queen of Pentacles card there in terms of your finances. I feel with the Ten of Wands, you're recognising all of the responsibilities that you have, and with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel that this makes you recognise in the month of September that your bank balance might not be as healthy as you would like it to be, that maybe everything that you've got is kind of paid out, if that makes any sense. So therefore, I do feel that if you and your partner, if you do have a partner, and you are looking to kind of move forward with an idea, possibly around conception of a child, even, you know, this is a case if you've been struggling to have a child and you might have been looking to conceive one in a different way than the normal way, you might be in agreement with this, but it could be with the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands can represent a partner who is a fire sign energy. It might be that one of you on here, on this Two of Cups energy, might say, you know what, this is a really good idea, I do agree with you, but I feel that we need to take our time because we can't take the risk. The Queen of Swords is telling you about the risks because she's not saying that everything is hunky-dory, and she's giving you a fair analysis of the situation, that there is potential for something here to be had because the hand is out. But the sword is saying there's actually a limit here, and the limit here is the actual stark truth of it. It might be it's going to cost you a bomb, and maybe at the moment you're struggling with so many responsibilities with that Ten of Wands that you simply cannot afford it with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. The other way to look at this reading is, for some of you guys, you might be looking at, and it's the same sort of ethos, but just in a different way. You know, Empress and Page of Cups usually does represent, or can represent, something to do with conception, pregnancy. But it can also be to do with, because we have an Empress, whenever you got an Empress, I'm an Empress in the Tarot. So as an Empress, I've built Carol's universe, and it's very successful. So I'm building wealth, I'm building esteem. This is the card of also working on oneself. So on one's own self-development. So I don't just work on, you know, my website and YouTube. I also work on developing myself as an individual. So, you know, you'll always notice on my videos that I have different hairstyles. I love makeup. I love clothing. If any of you guys know, this channel used to be a makeup channel before it was a tarot channel. So I've always been interested in those things. So what she builds here, she builds within herself as well. And that's to kind of, you know, I get a lot of females that come for readings with me, and often if they're showing as Empresses in immediate future and they're asking about finding love, it's often that they're working on themselves, developing themselves on the inside and especially on the outside, so that they're able to attract love, because the Empress is based on, is ruled by the planet of Venus, which is love, and this lady finds it quite easy to attract male or whatever, or just, Empress can be male or female anyway, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, it's just about somebody who works hard at improving their external appearance, because they're very much into attracting people from the same sex or the opposite sex. So I feel that this is more about, because when I'm looking at the cards, this doesn't really suggest completely focusing on your outer appearance. It's more about developing who you are, you know, developing a beautiful home, working towards having the finer things in life, which is what the Empress card can often indicate within the tarot. And I feel that for some of you guys, it might be that an invitation is given to you with the Page of Cups energy. So the Page of Cups, often you can get this card come up when somebody's actually giving you an invitation or making an invitation to you. Okay, it can be an invitation to love, so it can be somebody inviting you to love, but I don't feel that this is the case. I feel that somebody is inviting you. There is a surprise message that some of you guys might be getting in the month of September, because I often see the Page of Cups as being a surprise message, just simply that it has a fish in the cup. So it might be you get a message that you weren't expecting, or there is a message that you receive, but it comes with some very surprising kind of add-ons. The add-on is the fish. Okay, it's a fish out of water as well. Okay, even though it's in a cup, the cup should really be filled with some form of liquid. So it's not in its natural expansive environment of the sea. It's actually in a smaller pond. Okay, so I feel that this will be a small offer potentially that comes to you guys as an Empress, and it might be that you're looking to develop or build something. When you get the Empress as well, for me this can represent people that want to work within the creative sector, so maybe with fashion, maybe with makeup, hair, that type of thing. So I feel for some of you guys, you might be trying to build an empire or a business to deal with some form of creative function, and it might be that you guys are actually receiving some form of assistance financially. Even though this isn't a financial card, it could be represent something that's a small offer or some form of assistance, okay, to help you develop what it is that you're looking to do in September. Because we do see that some of you guys might be struggling with finances. You are looking at the value of what you have right here. So it might be that you have something that you can work with, but is it enough? It might be that you're looking at your finances here, and again we're seeing the struggle card. You've got too many responsibilities here. Okay, so with this Queen of Swords, it might be that this Queen is your own energy, where you're looking logically at the situation, and it's a kind of can and cannot situation, because again, the sword is the truth. The hand is where we are more open and more receptive to ideas as the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is usually only receptive to her own ideas. This is why she's based on, I feel, the card of Justice, Libra. She's represented by the zodiac sign of Libra, which can sometimes mean, I feel, our own justice and what we deem to be correct and fair. But it's not to say, I feel with the hand, it's saying that she's open to ideas and to things. And this is why we have the Sun card here. So it might be that you're open to new ideas around this thing that you're looking to set up, because the Sun card represents rebirth, newness, renewal, optimism, happiness, positivity, positive outlook. So I feel for some of you guys, it might be, even though there seems to be a struggle around finances, Aries, maybe in the month of September 2016, you are open to new ideas, potentially from this Page of Cups facing you in this reading. Okay, and it brings in a lot of positivity as well. It also might mean with the Sun card, the Sun card can mean a Leo type energy as well that's around you in the month of September 2016. This can actually be a very charismatic, very kind of strong, confident leader type individual. Okay, so you might be welcoming in new, fresh ideas from others around you, people who have the confidence to make things happen. Okay, so it's about following somebody else's lead as well. But also, we do see a Two of Cups card here. And Two of Cups is often the card of negotiation. So for some of you guys, it might be that you're looking at a partnership potentially in the month of September around a business idea, because we do see this Queen of Swords facing the Sun card, and she seems to be welcoming it in, but there is a tinge of needing to be cautious or wary because of the sword that hangs up. Because remember, with the Queen of Swords, it's kind of, you know, I invite you in with the hand, but you can only come so far. So there is a sense of needing to be cautious, I feel, with this Queen of Swords and the Sun card. There might be somebody that comes in, hence why we see this Page of Cups, who comes in with a lot of kind of romantic, idealistic ideas, who's facing you. Okay, so this is something, if you're looking to get something set up in terms of a business, you've got great ideas. There might be somebody that comes to you and says, you know what, this sounds really, really good, and maybe we could do something around this. And your advice card is the Three of Pentacles, which does suggest group work and teamwork. So there might be teamwork or collaborations with others, I feel, for you guys in the month of September. Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. And I also feel that, you know, you are going to be a little bit kind of in two minds around this Sun. Sun can represent a very confident Leo type energy that comes to you. Okay, I feel this is also kind of, the Sun is the same as the Page of Cups, and they're both childish cards as well. They both represent childish energies. And I do feel that because you are far more intelligent about where you're going with your business, because you are showing as this Queen of Pentacles, okay? Queen of Pentacles is a very responsible individual, and she's very responsible, which is why she recognises the amount of responsibilities that she has here. Okay, so I don't feel that it'll be a case of in the month of September if somebody should come along and say, and it doesn't even have to be a person. It could simply be that you look around online and you see something, for example, something to do with loans, for example. So you could be struggling financially with getting a business idea off the ground. And it could be that with you being the Empress wanting to grow your empire, this Page of Cups could easily be an invitation, an online invitation. Doesn't mean that because it's cups, it's not online. It could be, it's just an invitation that's very seductive, that's very kind of like, that's piqued my interest, that looks lovely. It can simply be that, but it's something that's young and untried and untested, which is why you get the fish. It comes with a little bit of a, you know, too good to be true kind of thing. It comes with a little bit of a surprise. So this person comes along with a fish, all right? The fishes, for me, represent rebirth or birth of something, okay? Because my mother used to often dream of fishes, and they would also always, I always remember her telling us whenever she had a dream about a fish, and one of the girls would come home and say, I'm pregnant, Mum, it would be to do with conception. So somebody's coming to you, and it's a new conception, all right, that you're looking at here as the Empress. But I see that the Empress is facing forward and the Page of Cups is trying to entice the Empress, but it's not really paying attention to that Page of Cups. Okay, so I feel that something comes along, and it could be, say, for example, a loan that is very enticing. We don't have a Devil card, no, but we do have something that is very young, very untested, okay, but it's younger than the Empress. The Empress is a grown woman, so she's fully aware, whereas the Page of Cups is young, volatile, kind of immature energy within the tarot. So it might be something that looks, I think, for some of you guys, it might be too good to be true. So I feel that you might feel a little bit like, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go for that, because even though it looks really, really good, is it the best thing to do? And this is why you're also, I feel, showing as the Queen of Swords, where you're in two minds about this. On the one hand, you want to take it because the hand is out, and on the one, you're looking at the truth of the matter. Maybe if you took a loan or if you did this or that, would it be the best thing to do? And therefore, this is what I'm saying, the advice card could be in the Three of Pentacles, that what you're looking at with this person here, maybe you're looking at other avenues in order to get something going here. Other collaborations with other things and other people. Maybe not taking the loan, but maybe some other way that you can get this thing off the ground. Because we do have that you do want to pursue an idea here with this Two of Wands. However, we can't ignore that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. That can be a card that delays investments or fruition of investments. So say, for example, this Seven of Cups is upright. This person is looking at what they've already got in the bank or whatever they've kind of invested, and they're looking to cash this in. They're either looking to take the money from the bank or they're looking to cash in their investment. When it's in the reverse, this will either be for me that there's no money in the bank as such, or what you already have is tied up. So there's no way that you can kind of get any kind of recuperation on that investment or take anything out of the bank because it's all tied up with that Ten of Wands energy. Therefore, you might be looking at a new contract or a negotiation. However, the Page of Wands energy says, I'm going to take my time. When you get a Page of Wands up right, this is somebody who will just jump into something sometimes without thinking about it. So they'll just be inspired to take a leap forward. Okay, just to go for something. They'll just go for the adventure. Because remember, the Page of Wands as an individual is young and he's very, very, very fired up. Okay, so pages of children, often children don't think. Okay, they don't. Because when I was a kid, I used to do all sorts of things that used to get me into trouble. I used to get, in England, when I was little, I used to get on my friend's bike, on the back of my friend's bike. Or I used to sit, my friend used to sit on a bike and I used to get in front of my friend and have my hands on the handlebar and would go zooming down this hill. And once, my friend pressed on the brake too quickly and I went, woo, head over ass, and broke all my nose. I didn't think I broke my nose, but I scarred all my face up and everything, blood everywhere. So children don't think, we just go for the fun of things. And so it could be with this negotiation or this potential contract here, with the Page of Wands up front, it would say that you'd want to zoom ahead, all engines turned on, just go for it. But I feel that as we've got a Page of Wands in the reverse, there is a reluctance to actually complete on a deal here. Perhaps because you're in two minds over this Sun, something that looks absolutely amazing. Okay, so your hand invites the Sun in, but at the same time you've got the sword up to that Sun, which is like, I'm blocking you out a little bit because I don't want to be too optimistic about this thing. I've already got enough on my plate here. And yes, I want to desperately pursue this idea, and there's not enough money at the moment to do it. And I am being invited in the general energy to help build my business. But I'm looking at the Sun from a realistic point of view. I'm trying to make a rational decision. So therefore, though I know that there is a deal and a negotiation and a partnership and a contract on the table, I feel that I'll take my time with it. The final thing to say about your reading, Aries, for the month of September 2016 is that I feel that if you are pregnant, for some of you guys, it could be that you have an overdue date, maybe, because we've got this Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, when you get Queen of Pentacles and Page of Cups in a reading together, it can also indicate conception, childbirth, pregnancy, because she's another fertile card. It could be with this 10 of Wands, maybe you're 10 months in. I don't know whether you can go 10 months on a pregnancy, actually. I think they induce you after something like 2 weeks after your due date, which is 9 months. But maybe you're going into the 10th month. That's what I mean to say. Okay, so you're 2 weeks in. And maybe you're looking to get induced. And we know that the swords can mean cutting tools. So maybe this is a cesarean. Maybe this is a female doctor who will be performing. I'm just thinking this, performing a cesarean. And after that cesarean, maybe it's a happy baby boy. Maybe there's a baby that is delivered via cesarean with that Queen of Swords facing that Sun card. We know Sun can also mean the birth of a baby boy. It doesn't have to be a boy, but it can mean birth of a baby. So maybe for some of you guys, you are overdue. Queen of Pentacles and that 10 of Wands and reminds you of being overdue in terms of pregnancy. And maybe you're being induced, or there is a cesarean happening here in order to take the baby out. Okay? Which is great. Okay? Yeah. Fantastic reading, really good reading for the month of September 2016. So there's 3 scenarios really I'm looking at there, okay? Because I know that thousands watch my videos and, you know, not everything will apply to the one person. So if any of this resonates with you, let me know. We're going to get an angel card. Let's have a look. Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have for Aries? Peaceful resolution just flicked out. How interesting is that? Let's read the booklet for what it says for this. Peaceful resolution. The challenges you're inquiring about are going to come to an end. Conflict will cease and soon will be replaced with harmony. There will be a sense of peace shared by all, even if only some agree to disagree. Disagreements will be resolved in your favour. This includes struggles with employers, legal battles, arbitration, and even strife among family or friends. Be forgiving and understanding with those who may have been in error. Allow peace to come with grace and dignity for everyone. So whatever that card means for you, it means for you. But I do feel that there is resolution here, even if there is no firm resolution in the month of September. I feel that whichever way you're gearing towards, especially if you're looking to open up a new business or to expand on your empire, Aries, if this is the case, I feel that there'll be a personal, peaceful resolution on that, because I feel that if you are erring on the side of not taking a deal or not kind of going for something because your intuition and also the practicalities of your everyday life say that this is not possible at the same time, you'll find another way around the situation here. I don't see much family strife in this reading, but I do see contracts, I do see collaborations, and I do see the advice card is saying that there are new projects on the horizon. There are also going to be lots of kind of, I feel, paperwork that you guys might be dealing with in the month of September. And I do feel that things are really going to go in a very positive direction for you. Though I do feel there might be some delays in certain areas, but those will be resolved also. That is your reading, Aries, for the month of September 2016. I would like to say thank you very, very much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.